they were essentially renting their exception for timely settlement. Yeah. And then they were doing, through trades called conversions, they were doing a couple things. One, all those companies on the threshold list are impossible to borrow.
Yeah.
But they're the stocks everybody wants to be short. Right. So
and you
how
can make
do you get
a lot of money if you can lend those shares out. Ton of money.
That's right. And just for context, if you, Overstock.com had a major lawsuit about this. If you read the California Court of Appeals ruling from 2014, which is now 10 years old, it goes into great detail about all of this. It's a very well drafted ruling. But if you're a market maker, you can essentially rent your exception and be a source of borrow for prime brokerage firms that are trying to get their clients short. So one of the things we noticed during this period was all these companies are on the threshold list for hundreds of days. But if you look at their 13Fs, the top long holders are the major prime banks. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's because those banks were the counterparties for the options market makers in these conversions and reversals. So the market maker would do what's called a conversion or reversal. They're essentially using an options position, transforming an options position into a stock position. Mm-hmm. The end result is that the prime broker, who's the counterparty, is long the stock, and the market maker is long, synthetic long through options, or they're delta neutral, as we say. Their book is flat. The prime broker gets long stock that they can then lend and overlend to their clients multiple times. We know that happens because there was a later lawsuit by a major hedge fund who figured out that their prime broker was ripping them off by lending them stock that they weren't even bothering to borrow. So the story of the threshold list is it's a list of liquor stores getting robbed, but it's also about how the participants, the market makers and the prime brokers colluded, if you will, to create, to rob them even more, I guess you could say, yeah. And to just create more sources of borrow than existed. Right. So the SEC, reg shows what they call Rule 203. They amended it and they added Rule 204 on top of that. Rule 204 they eliminated the options market maker exception.
But they still have the equity market maker exception.
They still have the equity market maker exception.
The Bernie Madoff exception.
The Madoff exception. I know, famously